Good morning, everyone. This is Alexi Boyd from Small Biz Matters, and I'm reporting from the Connecting Australia How Technology is Levelling the Playing Field, put on by the Australian Chamber of Commerce and the NBN. I'm very pleased to be welcoming Dr Andrew Charlton. Now, he is, of course, the Director of AlphaBeta Advisors. The key findings of this report have driven today's meeting, and we've heard from the Minister for Infrastructure, who is very passionately behind this program and outlining the difficulties that small business faces. Welcome to the program, firstly, Andrew.
Thank you very much.
Tell me about the key findings that your study has revealed in relation to the uptake of technology and small business, and why that is a key driver for economic productivity.
Well, three big findings of this research. The first one is just the rapid transformation in the connectivity available to Australian small businesses. In just 20 years, the number of small businesses connected to broadband in Australia has increased from 3% to 99%. And in just 10 years, the speeds available to small businesses have increased fivefold. So there has been a transformation in the connectivity opportunity available to small businesses. The second finding is that small businesses are jumping on that connectivity in order to generate big changes in the way they do business, big changes in the front end of their business around connecting to their customers through the internet, through social media, e-commerce platforms, big changes in the back end of their business by using digital and cloud-based tools to improve their invoicing, improve their accounting and business management. And the third finding is that when they do that, they deliver better outcomes for their business. Their revenues grow faster, their employment grows. So you add those things together and you can see that the increase in connectivity, driven partly by the NBN, is really changing the landscape and creating lots of opportunities for Australian small businesses.
What I thought was quite interesting is that the industries you would not necessarily expect to be fast and early adopters are actually different industries. Can you describe to me what other industries there are?
Some of the industries that you expect, information, technology, media industries, but there's also quite a varied picture across industries. There are certain parts of the agricultural sector which are really jumping on new digital tools, using smart sensors, lots of new digital applications in order to improve the way they do business in a very old traditional industry. Lots of parts of the retail sector which are engaging in new technologies, new payment systems, new stock control systems. So a really kind of varied picture across industries and businesses in Australia. Some really jumping on the opportunity, but a lot still lagging as well.
Do you find those findings are in and around the age of the business, or the person who is running the business? Is that a barrier to adoption?
Yeah, great question. The survey that the ABS runs that talks to business people about what the barriers are to adopting new technologies, the things that consistently come out of that survey are people and capabilities. Small businesses that feel like they have enough knowledge in order to access those technologies are more likely to do so. Those that have people within their business who can recognise and operate those technologies are much more likely to be taking them on. There are other factors as well. Businesses report that cash flow challenges are a barrier to new investment in technologies. Just time and effort is a barrier, all the normal things, but certainly the two that always jump out are people and capabilities.
Now, it sounds to me that you're really tapped into the small business community through this research and through these statistics as well. One of the points you made on the panel today was in relation to the fact that innovation is just not necessarily the latest tech cool startup, when it's actually across different industries, across ages, across different types of businesses as well. Why do you think it's so important that government funds technology implementation and therefore helps grow innovation across the sectors, not just talking about universities and tech hubs and things like that?
Yeah, well, innovation is an important priority for the government, and so it should be. Innovation drives productivity growth. Innovation drives economic growth. But I think there's a missed opportunity here in the innovation agenda. I think the innovation agenda focuses on the big brains of the university sector and the bright lights of the startup sector, and so it should. But there's actually a bigger opportunity out there which we too often miss. If you really want to drive productivity growth across the economy, you need to be looking at the big parts of the economy. And the biggest part of the economy is the small business sector. And so if you want to drive productivity right through the economy, rather than focusing on the important but small number of, tech startups, the best way to drive mass productivity growth is to go to where the massive businesses are. And the massive businesses are those small businesses in every part of the economy. That's where, if you're really serious about driving productivity growth, that's where you should focus the innovation agenda. But the innovation agenda needs to move a little bit, still incorporate the startup sector and the university sector, but it needs to get a bit real and take itself into the small business sector where the biggest gains are ultimately going to be. Maybe not the sexiest area of the innovation agenda, but the most important area of the innovation agenda.
Well, Andrew, I think that sums up to this morning's findings, your key findings that have come out of the report. Can you tell me where people can find out a little bit more about your company and the business findings that you've created?
Sure, they can find out about the report and download a copy of the report at our website, which is AlphaBeta.com, or also through the NBN.
Thank you so much for talking to Alexi Boyd with Small Biz Matters. We will speak to a couple more people at the event shortly.